Welcome to JKB It's going to be a platform where we want to start businesses, particularly the hair business or the beauty industry. What it's going to do is going to allow you to really know exactly how to go ahead and get that business going, how to get it started, and how to run it successfully. Today we're going to be talking about the steps of starting a business. Notice that a lot of people have been requesting me to just start making videos to talk about this. Now, like I mentioned, the first video is going to be how to start a business. And I feel like that's very important because it's the new year and a lot of people, they have goals and things they want to do. And a lot of them are to go ahead and start being business owners. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Steps of starting a business. The first thing we're going to discuss, guys, is why it's important to know the steps of starting a business. You know that the reason why we want to start a business is to have success. Success is the overall goal. We want to do things that make sure that we put ourselves in a position to attain that goal. And a lot of the people that want to start business nowadays are single parents, mothers, people with families, so they really don't have a lot of time to be wasting. And a lot of times people who may be first-time business starters, they don't know where to start. They have no idea what to do first, how to get it going, steps to take. So I feel like this is very important for those types of people. Most people who really want to make the investment, they want to know, is it worth it? So make sure you're taking notes. Make sure you have your pen and paper handy. Pause and stop as much as you need to make sure you're getting it. If you have any questions, leave the comments below and I'll do my best to answer it. The goal of this lesson here is to make sure that everyone knows how to start a business. You can relate this to starting any type of business. It works for any type of business platform. I have broken down the particular steps into an acronym called Remember It. And I'm going to do my best to try to explain it and give as much examples as I can. If you guys have a business or you're thinking about opening a business, just go ahead and leave that in the comment section below. I would love to hear about your future endeavors or what you're doing now. Like I mentioned, the acronym that we're going to do is Remember It. The first one is research. The reason why you want to do research, because you want to know exactly what your product is or your service you're going to offer and actually who it's going to be to. You know exactly who you're targeting so that you can get that product in front of them. Now, the next one is going to be your business goals and objectives. Now, these are going to be the goals that you have for your business. Let's say, for instance, you have a 3 to 5 year plan, like what I'm going to want to achieve this week, well, this month and this year, and also in the next 3 months, the next 6 months, the next 9 months, the next, the yearly plan also. Let's say, for instance, you even want to go ahead and franchise your business out to just grow it at a fast rate. Put whatever goals you have for your business in this section. And then you want to go ahead and start working on your personal goals and objectives. For example, some of my personal goals and objectives for my business was that I only want to work 30 hours a week. So that was a personal goal for me. Think about your circumstances. Think about the things that you have coming up. Engage, you might want to travel more. So make sure you put those type of things inside your personal goals and objectives so you can start working towards that. The next thing you want to do is you want to be honest with yourself. You really want to be honest and just think about the target market and the product you have and see, do I really have potential for success with this business? Because if you have something that there's not a need for, you can't really have success for it unless you create the need. But yeah, just be honest at this point and really just think about, can I really have success in this business? The other thing you want to do is you want to really take a look at the competition. And when I mean take a look at the competition, not checking to see what they're doing, what they're selling and things like that. What I mean is just recognizing the people selling what you're selling or doing what you're doing or in the same business field that you, the do's and the don't. You're a plumber or something, best plumber in the area, they have a bad customer service rate. Let's say they're very unprofessional when they come to people's houses. You start your plumbing business and you actually go out and you focus on making sure you provide good customer service. So when you market that, people will draw to you over the other plumbing company because they don't offer that. They're not giving out a great customer service. So the overall goal is that you want to be unique. And the next part of the plan is what it entails. So you want to know exactly what it involves and start making that business plan. So in this part, you guys, you want to go ahead and start listing what you will and you won't do. Like for example, in my business, I stopped doing a lot of services that I did in the beginning. So I knew for a fact that there's some things now I'm just not going to do. Make sure you're very clear on the services, the products you're going to provide and the ones that you're not going to provide. Especially if there's a relation, like for example, you're repairing cell phones. You can say, yeah, I'm going to sell phone cases with this. Or let's say you repair cell phones and you're not going to sell batteries, or you're only going to do iPhone, you're not going to do Android. Just make sure that you're very clear on what you're going to do. Perfect time to really take the moment to just think about your prices. Think about what you're going to sell your products for and your services. Think about the margin, your return that you're going to have on that, you want to make out of it. And a lot of times you want to make your prices based on your overhead and things. But the thing to do in this, guys, is to make sure that you really write down your policies and procedures. A lot of businesses really don't do that. They fail to really be clear on their policies and procedures. And the thing about policies is refund policy, the shipping methods you're going to use, the late fees, the procedures you're going to have as far as the operation time. Next, you have your morals and values. Now, what morals and values are for your business is going to be your beliefs. What do your business stand by? Like, for example, I'm big on customer service. I'm big on quality. I'm really big on building up my clients. I'm really big on women empowerment. So I make sure that everybody I work with, my full team, they are aware of those things, and I hold them to the same standard. So, for example, when you go to certain places, you might go to a store and everybody's all over the place. 9 times out of 10, when you're dealing with customer service, they might be rude and they might give you a hard time. But when you talk to management, they may be about the customer, you know. That's because they're hiring people and everybody's not aware of the values and the morals of the business. Make sure you really take the time to figure out what your morals and values are going to be of your business and stand by that. And then you want to worry about the image you want to convey to the world. Now, this is very important because this is part of your brand. Now, look at you as a person. Are you representing that business the way you want it to be represented? And this is always a good idea to start doing that now, because you don't want to start a business and pay attention to your brand, and then later as it grows, you start trying to change it over, customers or your followers or whatever. You're going to get very confused. So the next part of this is going to be the money part. Now, you want to make sure you plan your finances. Don't just be buying, because a lot of time you might just have an amount saved up, and next thing you know, it's gone. So you want to make sure that your business has a healthy chunk to rely on, assets and expenses. So your assets are going to be like the little things, the decor, the chairs, the mirrors, things that make the business look nice. And then you have your expenses. That's going to be your overhead. It's going to be your water, gas, whatever that you might need for your business, your electricity. It's going to be those things. So make sure you have a clearly outlined list of those things so you can plan accordingly. Even if you can't find the exact amount it's going to be, you can actually get on a web browser and just get an estimate of what it is in your area or your desired location. You want to make sure that you have at least 6 months of your startup costs available. This is going to be everything that it takes to start your business. And also, a lot of times, if you don't have a savings, you have to worry about where you're going to get funding from. Most people, they actually get business loans. A lot of people I know, they have started GoFundMe pages. They even have something called crowdfunding, where if you have a great idea, you can put it on there and they actually will start drawing investors to you, and they'll start investing in your business. Interesting thing that I found that works is actually selling raffles or tickets to potential clients. The next part of this is going to be entity. And what the entity is actually your business structure. This is whether you want to register your business as an LLC, a corporation, an S corporation, sole proprietorship, and partnership. Now, this is very important because it also determines exactly your tax liabilities. And the most common of these is sole proprietorship and LLC. Now, I have an LLC with both of my businesses, and the reason why is because it's totally separate from me personally. It has nothing to do with me. For example, with a sole proprietorship, it can actually sue you and it affects you personally. But if you have an LLC, they only can sue your business, so your personal life is protected. You might want to do some research just to figure out exactly which one is best for you. The next part, guys, we're going into is moniker. And what this is, you guys, is actually your business name. You don't want to have a business name that, for one, has nothing to do with your business. 2, is not relatable. And another thing you want to do when you're coming up with your business name is check the use. Go to the Secretary of State website, and you want to actually see if that business is already registered. You also might want to think about trademarking your name when you go ahead and get that registered. You can also actually go ahead and buy all the domains for your business. For example, if you have a business called I Love Kitty, You want to go ahead and buy .com, .net, .we, .us, .whatever. Now, this is the business part. I'm not going to get too much into this, guys, but if you have questions, please leave those comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them and get a business license and permits. Make sure that you go ahead and identify what you need to get and exactly how to go about doing that. It's different from every state, so you might want to do your research on that. And you want to register for an EIN number. That's an employee identification number. And this is what the IRS will use to identify your business as an actual company. So it's like overall, you just want to make sure that you have the necessary requirements you need before you can operate your business legally. Now we're at economics. Now, you want to make sure when you're writing out this that you brainstorm and figure out exactly what kind of accounting system you're actually going to have. Now, this is what you're going to use to take payments. Now, if you have an online business, you're going to need a credit card merchant. Brick and mortar business, you're going to want to get Square or PayPal, some type of integration system or cash register. But make sure you're aware of the additional charges and fees. Most of them charge almost additional 3% to process credit card. You want to also make sure you add the tax for your local area in there as well, because we all got to pay taxes. And you want to make sure that you have a budget, how much you want to make every month and how much you're going to spend every month. Go ahead and make those things readily available for you to refer back to. Please keep your money separate from your personal money. It's run. And this is where you're going to run your business, or the location. Some of those examples are things that you can think about using for your business. It could be a home-based business, a residential business. It could be an office or a shared space. You have enough space for your equipment. You're going to take into consideration cost, how much it's going to cost, and also back to those permits. Some buildings might need more permits than others based on location and based on what you're going to be doing in there. So make sure that you're very aware of how this may respond with weather conditions. How it's going to absorb heat. Is it going to get hot faster? Is it going to get cold faster when it's cold outside? Does it flood? Does it leak? When you're picking out a location, you want to think about how the client experience is going to be impacted. Like, for example, you want to make sure that you think about colors options as well when you're doing your business. If you're doing a spa or something, you might want to go towards your almond and your rose color because they're more soothing. Brainstorm on how they want to feel, what they want to smell, what they want to see when they come in your business, and exactly how they want to just be interacted with. You also want to think about the commute to your location. If clients and customers are going to be affected by toll booths, you want to take that into consideration. Also, you want to think about parking. Do you have adequate parking at this place if you're not going to be doing one client at a time or one customer at a time? If you have those parking meters out there. Now, these are going to be the last two ones we're actually going to go over. First one is actually individuals. And this is actually going to be your team. Now, a lot of times people may feel like, okay, I don't need a team, or I got this. And that's all good and dandy. You might be very talented. You might be good at multitasking. But the thing about it is that you can't do it alone. You know, when you're having a business, you can't be doing the menial things. You have to do the big stuff, the ideas, the meetings, the projection, all that goodness. You don't really have time to be emailing people all day. Another good thing is having a team or someone to help you. They have good ideas. So they can brainstorm with you. And most of the time, people might be consumers. So let's say, for instance, somebody on your team might be a person that uses your product or interested in your product. So you can get their ideas and their feedback on exactly how to make it better. A lot of times, let's just be honest, we're very biased when it comes to our business. We think this looks good. We think we're always right. We think our business is just awesome. But there's always room for improvement, and getting a lot of opinions and having people that really care about your business and want to see you succeed actually helps you to do that. You can even go as far as hiring an intern. Have programs where they need to intern somewhere or they need to get experience. You can even hire your family. Hiring your kids, you get a nice little tax cut for that. And if you need to hire someone, you want to make sure that you really think about the person you're hiring. You want to make sure that they're in line with your morals and your standards for your business. Decide to hire someone, guys, just make sure you add it to your startup costs. Last part, you guys, I know it's been a lot of information. I hope you guys are still with me. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you're still watching this right now. This is the tail part. And this is when you want to actually go ahead and promote your business. You want to make sure you get out there as much as you can. This is when you're going to market. Every time you make a money transaction, you want to be handing out a business card. So you're going through the drive-through. Hey, change of money. Here's a card. Hey, you're leaving a tip. Here's a business card. Oh, you're shopping for a gift. Here's a business card. Always make sure you have business cards on you. The goal for this is to make money. So, Just make sure you tell as much people as you can about your business. Make sure you're posting on your social media accounts, because you really have to get that information out there, letting people know who you are. This is the end, and I hope you guys found this very helpful. And if you didn't, just go ahead and let me know in the comments on what you want more information. Go ahead and like and subscribe. I plan to have videos up every week. Like I said, there's some things that you want to see. Let me know what content I can go ahead and provide for you guys, and I'll do my best to give y'all my expertise on it.